What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. Father Greg's not here again. We're trying to get together to record, but with me, with our new baby, 3 months old now, Eleanor is, but it's still just a little crazy. And sometimes when Father Greg can't get in for the weekend, we just don't record at all. Or if he does get in, we opt to just play board games together instead of trying to get down here and record. We're still in this sort of unpredictable season of trying to get videos and content out to you. So I thought what I'd do is I kind of start something, and I hope that I can sort of keep it up. I don't know what's going to turn out to be in the end, but I like the idea of a Hotness roundup. So once a week I'm going to try and get down here and just go through the BGG Hotness and let you know what I think about things. Let's discover together what other people are getting really excited about. And so we'll just go through the Hotness as if I was going through the Hotness without being on camera. But of course, with you, party people. So, party people, let's go through the Hotness. And of course, I love it when you guys engage in the comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're feeling about certain games. It'd be really cool to know what you're excited about from the BGG Hotness from week to week. So party people, without any further ado, come along with me as I go through the Hotness this week and we can see kind of what's going on. First up, we got Mr. President. The American Presidency 2001 to 2020. I can imagine that this is pretty exciting for quite a few people, especially kind of, I don't know what to call the community that loves these style of games. If all of these games is primarily put out by GMT, if they all fit into the category of war games or not. I have to admit I'm a little ignorant of that end of the hobby. But this looks like just a big, huge, expansive, heavy 4.18 out of 5 currently. Again, it's only have 78 ratings, 131 comments on the page right now. But we're looking at a full-blown simulation of the presidency. Almost 20 years of the presidency. And so this is a solo game. It looks pretty good for being kind of that sort of war game style. The graphic design looks really clear and neat. It has colors and textures that kind of pop. So visually speaking, this grabs me more than a typical GMT game. I'm already sort of engaged, although the complexity looks pretty overwhelming. And the theme, while interesting to a lot of people, I'm sure there's lots of you out there who love poli-sci and this kind of thing. But for me, I just kind of, I don't know if I want to be pretending to make these kind of high-level decisions by myself as a solo play for 360 to 600 minutes in a sitting. This seems insane to me. It just seems crazy. I don't mean to say that this doesn't look intriguing. Like, the production value looks really neat. And the theme is alluring, and it looks like they've got it down to a T here. But Mama Pajama, holy Toledo, this is something else. But just imagine the labor of love that this is for Gene Billingsley, the designer. This is fantastic. So, number one spot on the Hotness. I can see why people are buzzing about it. Are there any initial kind of ratings or comments? Just a beautiful game, one of the best I've played in a while. Outstanding work, GMT. Love everything I see. As a solo gamer, I cannot wait to play the game. It's a lot of game and a lot of fun. Just make sure you set aside enough time. Set aside a lot of time, but it is incredible. Okay, these are all early reviews, obviously, just kind of first impressions, this kind of thing from the BGG community, but that's kind of what I expected. People who are going to love this are going to love this as long as you have the time to spend to love it. So, hey, let me know down in the comments below, are you excited about Mr. President? Great name. Great name for a board game, actually. That's lots of fun. Okay, next up is Barcelona. Barcelona, I love a pretty bland Euro. I love me just building stuff, building cities, games with a city name. Can't go wrong. So I'm already intrigued by Barcelona. What do we got as a description here? All right, so the Barcelona looks like your typical kind of city builder where you are expanding Barcelona. You are trying to convince people who want to leave Barcelona to stay inside the city by building different styles of buildings. This looks like your typical Euro, where the player boards here look as though you have different sort of bridge lengths, widths, types. You have different sort of other pieces that you're going to be building out onto the city. Let's see if we can see a shot of it in action. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it looks like you have the potential to build up here. Quite pretty, all things considered. That's fun. That's fun. Those look like maybe special buildings of some kind. Oh, a little polyomino thing, maybe for different resources, extra resources, bonus resources, that kind of thing. So sort of like a Bora Bora type side game. Yeah, so far for me, the big thing is the graphic design draw. I just like the colors, I like the vibrancy, I like just sort of the art style and how it looks. I like the potential for this kind of just sort of building on a grid and whatever restrictions might be in play for you to put together that puzzle. I like that it's a medium weight Euro game, city themed, 60 to 90 minutes. I'm not kind of hitching my cart to this horse right away, but I'm definitely going to keep my eyes out for it, see what other people are saying, see what playthroughs come up on YouTube, see what other people might have to say about it. I'm intrigued by Barcelona. All right, reprint of Mystery of the Abbey. So the funny thing about this game is that I've been in the hobby long enough that I've had opportunities to purchase Mystery of the Abbey. So yeah, the new edition doesn't have its own page on BGG. It's lumped in with the old edition. So it's hard to kind of tell which pictures are coming from the old edition or which pictures are coming from the new edition. It looks like by and large the pictures that I'm able to find on BGG are primarily from the older edition. Excited for this to get new life. The thing is that I've had lots of opportunities in my life to play Mystery of the Abbey or purchase it myself, and I've always been intrigued by the theme. I love this idea of a fun, lighter deduction game that's a religious theme. I mean, I'm Christian, Catholic. Monks in an abbey appeals to me. I go regularly to an abbey, but once a year for like a bit of a retreat or recuperation time for myself. So I love the theme. I think it's fun. Someone murder. I think of the monks that I know and then murdering one another. It's quite hilarious. But the whole idea here is that it's a game that has intrigued me for a long time, but I've never pulled the trigger on it, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. World Wonders is next. So World Wonders, this intrigues me a lot, only because it just popped up on my YouTube feed, Dice Tower reviewing World Wonders, and they all liked it quite a bit. It was like between the 8 to 9 range. Definitely a seal of excellence from Dice Tower. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I noticed something that I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. So here we got polyominoes at work, right? Polyominoes are so hit and miss for me. I like a few games that have polyominoes at play. I like Isle of Cats. You guys know that about me. And I also enjoy Llama Land quite a bit. But there's some polyomino games that people really, really love that I don't. Baron Park is the kind of standout of that example. So, and it's not necessarily the polyomino mechanism that I love about Isle of Cats or Llama Land even. I like other things that are going on in that game, and polyomino is just something that I go through to get to the thing that I really like. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a game like that, where maybe the resource management or the track pushing or other elements of the game are going to excite me enough that the polyomino dimension is going to be something that I'm willing to live with. Or is this a game that is just like polyomino is at the heart of the game? All right, okay, so it looks like this is, a city building game that's all about you start by spending gold, you're building buildings, but the different buildings are going to correspond to different resources, and the different resources are what you're going to need to use to build your city in different ways. And there's options of kind of building in a tight quadrant and kind of like filling a whole kind of completed square, and that's going to get you a lot of points. Or there's kind of bridges and roads and things that you can use to build kind of further away from off your map to access other kind of resource points and areas where you can kind of, get the resources you need to continue building in the ways that you want to build. So it sounds to me like a game that pulls you in a lot of different directions in terms of how the resources are at play. And I really like that. The only in that dimension is this reminding me of Earth, where you have multiple resources that are all accessible to you at one time, but in order to gain access to a certain resource, you have to spend some of another resource, and so on and so forth. I like that interplay between resources. If that's what this is talking about, I'm quite excited about that. And it looks quite pretty too. I'm enjoying kind of the color choices and how things look there, and just kind of different. Oh, Tom Vassal! There he is, just enjoying a wonderful game of World Monuments. That's fun. Again, on Dice Tower's recommendation alone, I'll probably be picking this up when I get the chance to pick it up out of my collection. I love it. Like, the weight here is 2.25. The designer is Ze Mendes. We have a 50 to 70 minute playtime. This is perfect. This is just worth a shot for me anyway. No matter which way you slice it, just to kind of get this to the table, play with some beginner board gamers, play with family, play with friends that enjoy lighter fare, and let's just see how this goes. You know, I could see this getting a lot of play. Okay, The Witch of the Old World. Heard about this a long time ago. Finally, it's on board game shelves. I wanted to get that. I didn't back it on Kickstarter, but I've heard some good things. There's a guy I played board games with just recently. He has his copy. He played it. And he said that because what this is, right, it's a deck building adventure game. So it's this mashup of you're building your deck, you're battling monsters, you're traversing the land, searching for masters of battle, picking up items, this kind of thing. But there's also like an adventure aspect of the game where apparently it's a very smooth, simple mechanism where someone reads a card and then you get a choice. And the guy who had played it, he said that it worked really well. So I was excited to hear that, because I don't love narrative dimensions in my board games very much. I like if you're going to be a Euro game, just be a Euro game. But I do still enjoy like the Blood Rages or the Ankhs or the things that kind of mesh a little bit of an Ameritrash feel with Euro mechanisms. And this is what I was hoping from Witch of the Old World. There's a lot of decks at play, a lot of cards to kind of mash together, but I just, card play is my kryptonite. Like if there's cards with symbols and colors and numbers, I'm just there. I'm there in a heartbeat. So Witch of the Old World definitely has me excited a lot. Okay, so now we're getting into expansion territory. This is an expansion to a game, Arena the Contest, Tanera's Adventures. And you know what? I don't actually know if I know of Arena the Contest. I don't know if I got hooked into this when it was first around. It's 2019 release. So art looks cool. Looks fun. Just getting art. Just art. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. So many sorcerers and sorceresses. Yes. Oh, we battle with magics. Yes. We battle vampires and werewolves with magics. Okay. So, looks like a grid movement tactics. Maybe I did hear about this. Oh, yes. Miniatures with my wizards and my magics. Yes. Okay. Oh, my miniatures look like my picture. Yes, I'm a swordsman. Yeah, looks like your typical kind of skirmish grid movement tabletop miniatures game. Not my thing. Not something I'm particularly interested in, but people who like this stuff like it a lot. It's very similar to the war game genre. So there is an expansion that people are getting excited about. So if that's you, I'm excited for you getting excited. But I, myself, am not super excited. Okay, here we go. Some things that are just kind of perennials here. Heat, pedal to the metal. I presume that this is on the Hotness just because people are playing it a lot, learning the rules clarifications, conversations on the page. I'm not going to dive too deep into this. You know how I feel about Heat. I have it in my collection. I enjoy bringing it out for people. I like when people discover the game and they discover that they like the game. That's really fun, but I've had enough experiences where people haven't enjoyed the game as well that I'm like, is it as good as people are saying it is? I don't know. I wouldn't put it in the top 100 on BGG myself, but there it is. Hey, all the power to you. Planon Gnome has been out for a while. This is another one that people are playing a lot. I like that there's almost like a lazy Susan for the polyominoes. Like, that's really fun. But this game looks, I could be wrong, but it looks straight up just polyomino play, fitting it to fit this kind of planet grid that you're working on. The aesthetics don't speak out to me. It doesn't entice me, and the visuals, it just looks a little muted for me. Looks a little kind of like a realistic take on science fiction, if that makes sense. I mean, there's spaceships and all that sort of thing, but it really looks like you're, terraforming the planet, and that theme just doesn't get me super duper excited. So Planon Gnome, you know what? I'll have to give it a go if it's around. If someone else wants to play it, I'll play it. I won't play it if I'm just kind of seeking it out on my own. Cyclades Legacy Edition. My buddy just told me the Kickstarter is live, so that's why this is back on the Hotness. I love Cyclades so much. I don't know if I'm going to go... It's hard to justify spending $90 on a game before shipping when you have the game on the shelf. Yes, it's not this edition of the game. It doesn't have these components or this art or the new kind of rules clarifications or these kinds of things, but I get an amazing experience playing Cyclades with the copy that I have. And so I don't know if I'm super chomping at the bit, but you know what? It's worth being excited about, surely. Yeah, it looks cool, but it looks also like what I've played, There's a few different things here, but it looks gorgeous. It looks awesome. I don't think I'm going to be pulling the trigger on it. But party people, let me know down below. Are you pulling the trigger on Cyclades? Are you pulling the trigger on any of these games that we're going through tonight on the Hotness? Ark Nova, this is in the top 10 on Board Game Geek. People are playing it like crazy. Of course, they love it. I really enjoy Ark Nova. I am impeded by getting to the table often. I haven't even got my own copy to the table. But the game is solid. It is so solid. But it is a beast to try and sort of... To be the teacher... I don't know, man. I don't know. That freaks me out. Dune Imperium at 11. My number one board game of all time. Dune Imperium. Love it so much. Happy that people are talking about it, getting into it. Earth, again, just really in the conversation. Here we're speeding along because the BGG Hotness is funny, right? In that there's games that are on there because they're new and people are talking about them and excited about them, and then there's games that are on there because people are just playing them a lot. And so Earth falls into that category. This is just being played like crazy. I played it recently myself. This is a game that is easy to get to the table. And it gives that Ark Nova feel for me in a lighter way, in a shorter time, in an easier to kind of explain the rules, explain all the kind of variations and differences. It's a really fun game to play. I really enjoy Earth. I didn't expect to enjoy Earth as much as I did. I knew that I was going to respect the design, but it'll be on my list of top games for sure. Frosthaven, I'm sure people are just continuing to just plow their way through Frosthaven like they did Gloomhaven. It's interesting that we're getting buzz about a new edition of Gloomhaven when Frosthaven is fairly new still to players. You'd think they'd give a bit more breathing room there. But 81 overall rank on Board Game Geek. I don't know much about Frosthaven. I don't know if they put in new mechanisms. But I do love myself a winter-themed game. That's fun. I've always been more drawn to winter themes than not. But again, campaign style, cooperative. There's just a couple of big knocks against this game for me personally. But again, people who love it, you got a lot of Gloomhaven and Frosthaven content in your world right now. And I am just overjoyed for you, party people. Let me know down below if you love Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, and how you're enjoying your playthrough of Frosthaven. If it's measuring up to your plays of Gloomhaven, or if it's laying you down in some way. Brass Birmingham, is that still our number one? Is that still our number one? Yeah, overall number one, hanging on. You know what? Classic game. Really good. You'll see I have it rated a 7. So I'm not as overjoyed about it as other people, but it deserves the acclaim that it gets for sure. I choose quite a few games over it myself to play, but I understand. And the Birmingham and the Lancashire editions are just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Shipwrights of the North Sea Redux. So yeah, so this is interesting that they're kind of re-exploring these titles. I think, because this game didn't do great for them, I don't think. They really kind of hit their stride with Raiders of the North Sea, I think is where Garphill Games really kind of... But maybe they've tweaked some things. Maybe now that they got more of an audience, people would like to revisit this title. It looks great. Looks gorgeous. Love the colors. Very familiar in iconography and how things are looking, how you'll be playing things. I am curious. I'm curious. Yeah. Okay, so this is quite interesting because as I was looking at some of these shots, I was like, it looks like it's taking a lot of inspiration from things like Wayfarers of the South Tigris or whatever, just the way that the cards and the abilities on the bottom of the cards are looking. And I was like, so this isn't just a simple like reprint or new edition. They're taking the theme of Shipwrights of the North Sea and they're kind of just creating a whole new thing in that world. And what they say in the description is more in keeping with what fans of Garfield games have come to expect. And that's what it looked like as I was looking at these images. That's cool. That's cool. Kind of taking a game that's sort of, your first kind of shot or two out of the gates, and then refining your craft, kind of knowing what you like, what your audience likes, taking all that expertise, pumping it back into that original theme, coming up with something that shares elements but is kind of altogether different. I like that. I like that idea of kind of taking a game that exists and kind of flipping it all on its head, making a new game. It's not even like a new edition. Interesting. Bold and beautiful. Bold and the beautiful. Spirit Island, we can pass that, right? We can just pass right past Spirit Island. We can just not worry about that. Okay, thanks. Archeo Society. So I did a video on this a while ago now. Reimplementation of Ethnos. Oh, looks gorgeous. That looks so good. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's not... Come on. Get to my... Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Just kind of simple art like that. Kind of that realistic-ish, but with that cartoony blend. It attracts me. Interesting, though, to try and figure out how this game plays. It looks quite different than Ethnos. Okay. So you're moving up tracks in different sort of expedition fields. Looks like so a little different than area control. When I was researching originally, it seemed like the card play mechanism was the same as Ethnos. But it looks like you're applying it a little differently. Yeah, I'm excited to give this one a shot. I wonder if there's early comments. Places the area majority from Ethnos with tracks, which improves the game greatly. I love the fast turns and how you can scale the game from a simple card game to a heavy game. Ethnos, but less ugly, arguably fixes some things that weren't broken, but replaces a generic theme with an uninspired theme. Also removes language dependency at the cost of clarity, but it's still Ethnos. So he rated it 8. He was kind of taking jabs at it here and there, but Electro Puncher gives it an 8. Okay. Yeah. I love tracks. I love a good track pusher, so I'm okay with that change. I've been growing in my love for area control, for sure. You'll notice that with the games I like to talk about. But I'm into a track pusher. I'm into that. Pyramido. I don't know much, if anything, about Pyramido. Okay, what's the weight? So this is coming in at fairly light. This is a 2 rating, designed by Equan Kwan. So we have ourselves kind of a domino style game where you're building a pyramid, stacking on top of each other, making connections, kind of jewels and decorations and things on these pieces, and you're trying to match them up, scoring points that way. I just get sort of an uninspired feel from this. Originally, I'm not getting a lot of... Is that all you have? Just pictures of the box? We got pictures of the box. There we go. So a really light domino style game. Sure, I won't be looking for it too hard. But I might be wrong. You let me know. You let me know if you think I'm wrong, party people. Ahoy! Alright, I've heard of Ahoy. This has been around for a while. Maybe it's hitting shelves. I think this is your, like, root guys. And, once per turn, spend 2 gold to move your flagship directly to any space with tailwind terrain. It looks more robust than I thought it was. I thought this was maybe just a simpler card game, but it looks like a pretty involved game here. A lot of fun art. Cool actions. My buddy Daniel, he kind of can't stand games that's all text on cards, where it's like, we could just play, but then you have to spend a bunch of your time just kind of going over all of what the cards do and how they chain together. It can be really hit and miss what you land with, depending on how the draw works. Let's see what people are saying about Ahoy. Okay, so this game is what I wanted Root to be. Asymmetric powers, but not so complicated that I have to basically teach 4 different games. Also, I don't have to relearn the game every time I play. There are 2 different area control factions and 2 pickup and delivery factions. It works so well together. I love it at 2. It's like a great head-to-head area control game. Then at 3 or 4, it's a whole new game. Pirate theme really helps. Love this game. The factions do not seem balanced at all in my plays. Want to play more to see if that changes. That's a 6.5 rating. Good game. Would play again. I think this one will get better the more it's played. I played one of the pirates and really struggled. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so this is their shtick, right? Asymmetric play. Neat that kind of one's area control, one's pick up and deliver. That's fun. Like two factions and 2 factions. So it's a little simpler to explain. Sure, it's not grabbing me. Something that is grabbing me, though, is Darwin's Journey. So I think this is hitting shelves right away here. I was at Game Day a while ago, the local board game convention. Someone had it out, and I just kind of signed on to play Sabika with another crew. And Darwin's Journey, there was a guy who was setting up, and he had room for another player, but I just kind of missed my timing on it. I was kind of bummed out. Heard a lot of great things about this from the Secret Cabal Gaming podcast, my favorite board game podcast. And doesn't it just look great? I don't know what it is. I'm probably very fickle. That some board game designs and art style, if it's not vibrantly colored, I'm just like, no, that's boring. But then sometimes, especially here where it has this kind of old manuscript aesthetic, I'm just like, no, this is great. This looks beautiful. I'm amazed. So maybe I'm just fickle, but I like the way this looks. So yeah, this is giving me Marco Polo vibes. Kind of like connecting routes, setting up outposts, gathering resources, trading in resources, all this kind of thing. Maybe special abilities, power. I mean, same designer, so I love Daniele Ticini. I just really enjoy his designs. It looks like a beast, though, right? It looks like a beast. So that intimidates me for sure. But yeah, I think I'll pick this up. First chance I get. Scarfies 1920. I'm sure people are getting their copies of this right now. I wonder how this is treating people. I was intrigued by the look of this. Yeah, so I think this is in the pick up and deliver genre of things. You got different locations. Area control probably. Maybe more area control than pick up and deliver. Let's see. I was kind of jazzed about this. This had a really cool trailer when it first came out. It had a really great game trailer that showed all the things and how it worked. And it looked sweet. I like the art style on the game box. Just that sort of like cartoony flavor. The bottom car chase here reminds me a lot of Batman the Animated Series, which I loved as a kid. So cool aesthetic, area control game, sweet. Again, kind of over it. There's games we find out about like 2 years ago, and now they're finally available, and I'm kind of like, I'm over it. I'm on to the next thing. There's other things grabbing my interest. Okay, Terraforming Mars, I think we all know why that's there. Root, same kind of deal. Everyone's just playing Root. Everyone's playing Terraforming Mars. Titans. This is interesting. That came out a long time ago. It's like an area majority combat style game. Dudes on a map style game. I heard it was fun. Steve from the Secret Ball Game podcast liked it. It's fun to battle mythical creatures and kind of have this giant titan on your side. Kind of keeps it epic. I wouldn't hitch my cart to Warrior Expression for my past self. Okay, here's the second edition of Gloomhaven. It looks like barely a redesign. Like, it's fun that they kind of just took the cover and just said, hey, we'll just pretty much do the same cover from last time, but just sort of lighten it up a little bit. Ooh, fun. Fun little map and aesthetic there. Yeah, I honestly don't know anything about what changes they've made, and I won't find out just now. Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Getting lots of love, lots of videos coming out, just showing off what it looks like. It's hilarious to me that Awakened Realms has done Castles of Burgundy, 2nd edition. That's just fun. Fun. Not 2nd edition, special edition. I have gotten rid of my copy of Castles of Burgundy, and I regret it immensely, especially after recently playing Castles of Tuscany. And so I want to get an edition of Castles of Burgundy. I don't know if this is the one that I will go for. I might just go for the 10th anniversary edition or whatever it was. Wingspan on the Hotness, of course it is. Lost Ruins of Arnak, that's still kind of perennially on the Hotness. Gloomhaven, always there. Hegemony, big, heavy, Papa, Bear, 4.07. Skyrocketing up the ratings at 699. Wow. Wow. So this is asymmetric. Players are playing different, not factions in society, but like whether you're the populace or whether you are the government or these kind of things. You're playing a dimension of kind of how different ways societies function, the different groups of society needs to function. You play asymmetrically a big, heavy Euro game. Again, this fits right into that category of Mr. President for me, where it just looks overwhelming, it looks intense, but like the color scheme, the design, it still kind of draws me in. I think this would be a game that I would ultimately enjoy, similar to an Arc Nova, where I wouldn't like be chomping at the bit to get to the table myself, wouldn't be excited to learn the rules, that kind of thing. But then once I got it to the table and someone kind of walked me through it, I learned how to play and I played a couple times, I would say, wow. That was just great for the old noggin. So again, not sure if I'll ever find an opportunity to play Hegemite, but I'm open. I'm open to it. I'm open to Hegemony. Hegemony. I want my Hegemony. Oh, you do. I want my Hegemony. Arkham Horror the card game. Just one of those games. Always doing its thing. Expeditions. So, I've been known to create and generate some hype for Stonemaier games. This got me excited. This is a standalone in the Scythe universe, kind of a tile exploration sequel, it says. Let me see what this actually is. So yeah, this got me excited when I first kind of learned about it, because it seems to fit my wheelhouse. There's card play involved, it's engine building, but then you're also placing tiles and exploring with your mechs. I love a game with some good, just sort of iconography. I think it's in that sort of light to medium weight engine builder, quick play time that I enjoy. So yeah, there's not much about this. I haven't met a Stonemaier game that I haven't at least enjoyed, you know? So this is kind of one that I'm like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. If it's available right now, I'll go. I'll pick up a copy. I'll enjoy myself. Let's see what people are saying about it, though. Let's see. 2.88 rate. 60 to 90 minutes, though, so you're there for a little bit. 10. Balance. Is that commenting that there might be balance issues? What a letdown, says JJ Mac. The publisher marketed this game as a sequel to Scythe, ostensibly Scythe 2. I don't think that's true. I never got the impression that this was Scythe 2. Okay, it was very clear to me from the outset that this game was in the Scythe universe, but a standalone and a different style of game than Scythe. I knew that right from the beginning. It was very clear. Hi, Dusty. Says, after many plays of my print and play solo playtest copy, I figured it was only right to wait until I had a few games of the production copy before assigning Expeditions a score. I'm currently assigning it a 9. It's a fresh and new, and I have the feeling that it may settle back into the 8.5 range for me when it's all over. I'll be playing mostly at the 1, 2, or 3 player count. The solo mode runs very smoothly. Here's the thing. So this is Jamie Stegmaier design. He is a great designer. All right? No matter which way you slice it, Jamie Stegmaier knows how to design a board game, and he is intentional. He is always criticized for balance issues in his game. And so that comment that just said balance is a funny comment. But I think he intentionally, based on a blog post I read of his years ago, I think he intentionally sacrifices balance for fun. And that is fine by me. Like, he's a great designer, he knows what he's doing, and he designs games that are fun. This is kind of a no-brainer for me to try out at least. Okay, Cascadia, just rocking people's worlds like Cascadia does. Everdel, amazing. That's in like my top 10 board games of all time. Love Everdel. Of course, it's getting love. The Isofarian Guard. I've seen this on the Hotness quite a bit, and I haven't looked into it. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be the problem with these videos, is I'm going to run across games that you're really interested in learning more about, and I'm going to notice that they're kind of campaigns, story-driven games, item collection, this kind of thing, and I'm going to be like, just games with a lot of stuff just overwhelm me. I just get like, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know who to play them with. Is that a thing? Oh my gosh, that dragon. That dragon. What? So, you can't say it's not cool. Like, you can't say it's not awesome to have that. I saw Dice Tower recently did a top 10 list of games they wish they had as a teenager. As like, it's this kind of thing. Like, yes, I would have just eaten this up as a teenager. I've just been like, I don't know how to play this game, but I got a giant dragon. Brah, brah, brah. That would have been it. Yeah, so okay. Obviously, it's cool. Obviously, it's epic. Obviously, people are going to be just totally insane over this game. Awesome. But not particularly my thing. Undaunted Battle of Britain. Okay, so is this an expansion to Undaunted? No. Another standalone. Sweet. Yeah, I picked up the original Undaunted. Never got it played. Deck building, one-on-one, skirmish-style game. Love that they're doing kind of a air, land, and sea situation. Yeah, flying planes, pilots, bombing, getting all that stuff in. Fun. I've been really intrigued by Stalingrad. I mean, I know jackjaw about campaign style games and these kinds of things, but again, the winter theme just gets me. Oh, this looks okay. Yeah, that looks good. Looks very good. There we go. Had to change the background just to blue because I don't have enough plugs down here, apparently. Okay, Arena the Contest. It's on the list because of its expansion. That was up. Challengers nominated for the Spiel des Jahres. Shipwrights of the North Sea. Of course, it's on here because of the redo. Marvel Champions is Marvel Champions. Revive was getting a lot of buzz. Still getting buzz. People are getting their copies. They're playing it. Father Greg played Revive. He talked about it on the channel in one of our Best of the Month videos. You can check that out. Scythe because of Expeditions. Seas of Havoc. That looks quite interesting. Let's take a look. Okay. I like the sounds of all the different mechanisms, but I'm just worried about it coming together. Yeah, the production looks kind of... I hate to say it, party people, it's not grabbing me. It's just not. Let me know, party people, if anything is jumping out to you. If you're liking anything, please let me know down in the comments below. If I skipped over something and you're like, why did you skip over that? Get mad at me in the comments. The Wolves! The Wolves pops up. So, The Wolves is a title that I'm just waiting to see more positive feedback about it. I love the look of this game. I love the wolf theme. I love the color palettes they've chosen. I love the wolf meeples. I love this kind of tile flipping mechanism that you got going on here with the wolves. I just think there's a lot to like about this game, but I've only ever been hearing sort of like, it's a good game, you know? And that's fine. But Dave's in my head, right? So our buddy Dave, he's saying, there's lots of good games, but we only have room in our collection for great games. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I do have room in my collection for a good game, Dave. Maybe I do. What if I do? Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. That looks so nice. I'm a bit of a Pandasaurus fan. I feel like they grab really good designs and publish them, but for whatever reason, they kind of fly a little under the radar, or they don't get the track. It might be the volume. Like, Pandasaurus produce a lot of board games in a given year, so it might just be people just struggle to keep up with what they produce. But the Wolves, I'm into the Wolves. Lords of Ragnarok. Okay, so this retheme, not even a retheme, but like a cousin to Lords of Hellas, but now we have kind of these mythological big giant titan creatures a la Vikings and that kind of lore. It re-implements Lords of Hellas. It's a straight up re-implementation. Okay, so I have a copy of Lords of Hellas on my shelf, and I've wanted to play it for a lot. Look at that. Look at that, though. I do like giving these kind of hybrid Euro games a chance. So I think I need to make a more concerted effort to get Lords of Hellas to the table, but until then, I don't really have any reason to waste my money on Lords of Ragnarok after wasting my money on Lords of Hellas. You know what I mean? Okay, Nemesis, I feel like this is a perennial on the Hotness all the time because it is touted as the best thematic board game of all times. If you're into that sort of thing, you better check out Nemesis. Aeon's Trespass Odyssey. All I know about Aeon's Trespass Odyssey is that there was lots of drama around Quackalope and this game. And them being kind of getting in hot water over kind of doing some videos for this game and not liking the game and that kind of thing. But I also know that Tom Vassell has played the game and he seemed to like it a lot. He was kind of going through this campaign and just really jiving with it. So, I don't know. Big old... Is there polyominoes? Polyominoes are the thing, man. I don't know. We gotta get back to designing roller rights. Am I right? We gotta get back to designing roller rights. Because this is getting too much. Too much. But yeah, party people, just not my thing. Just not my thing. But cool minis. Oh, inventions. Evolution of ideas. Let's look at the designer for this. The Talocerda. I have not played one single Talocerda game. I am intimidated, I am scared, and I am not shy to say it. If you love Talocerda, please let me know in the comments down below what Talocerda game I should start with. What's kind of a Talocerda game that's still very good, that is also accessible. Oh, I love the art here though. What a cool style. Is this Ian O'Toole again? Probably is. This looks quite nice. This looks quite nice. Ah, it looks compartmentalized better than some of his other games. But I'd still be totally intimidated to play this. But it kind of gives me that, you know, Darwin's Journey, Marco Polo vibes sort of thing. It kind of... I've played games that have felt like this before, so I feel like I can kind of get into it. When I look at something on Mars or Weather Machine, I'm like, I have never in my life tackled something like this. Like Food Chain Magnate, The Gallerist. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a frame of reference for this. This, I have a frame of reference for. Cool. That's inventions, evolution of ideas. Monsters of Loch Lomond. Let's see. Let's just... One final little scout here. Art looks cool. Art looks very cool. Selkie. Cool theme. I like this theme. My grandma, she was living in Cape Breton when I was growing up. I have Scottish in my blood. So this kind of theme resonates with me in a different way. Love a card game. Is it just a simple card game? I'll play a simple card game. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll play cards. Hot dog. Hot dog. Yeah, I'll play cards. What do you got? What do you got, Monsters of Loch Lomond? It's a nice little hidden information. Swap things around. Get people to have things that you don't want and to have them. Try and make sure you have the lowest score and claim it. Claim that lowest score. And if you don't actually have it, oh dear. Fun. Yeah, I'm into that. And then I think Too Many Bones ends the Hotness list. So that's just because people like Too Many Bones. I don't think I would, but there you go. Alright, party people. There was a Hotness roundup. Woo! This is a lengthy video. This is crazy. Please let me know if you'd like just kind of spending time with me, going through the Hotness, doing videos like this every once in a while. Hopefully once a week. We'll just kind of be able to kind of go through and skip things that are always recurring. And maybe these videos will get a little shorter. Who knows? But let me know if you enjoyed this or not. I just am experimenting with some things while Father Greg are missing each other in terms of getting together to actually record content together. But party people, if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. Until next time, party people, have the best day.